Okay, just waiting. Yes. Hi, everyone. Just a quick confirmation whether you all can hear me. Good evening, everybody. Okay. So I think everything should be fine now, right? So can people just confirm? Hi. Just can I have a confirmation whether you all can hear me? Yes, sir. Audible and visible. Thank you. Let's start quickly. Okay. So today's session is going to be more about how many questions you'll ask. That long the session will go on, because finally the session is, there's nothing, I haven't made any presentation or something. It's going to be more question answer sessions. Who should prepare? How should you prepare? I will give you my basic stuff about how should you start preparing, what is the right way, whether you're a college student, whether you're a working professional, whether you're whoever you are, how should you start preparing. So let's first go to, whether you're a fresher or not. I'll in fact come to this slide later. I don't even want to look at this part right now. So whether you are preparing, whether you're a fresher, whether you're a working professional, whoever you are, how much time do you normally take to prepare? Or how much time should be needed for preparation? How much time should be needed for preparation? That's a very, very important question. So tell me, what do you think? So I'll just get this chat again restarted. It's lagging a little bit. So give me a second. Okay, I think I'm here back. Great. Hmm. So normally what I tell people, how much time should you prepare for? If you're starting a batch, say in January, let's say Jan 2026, you're starting a batch, and CAT is in November 2026, which means you have approximately 10 to 11 months, because we are already halfway in January. CAT will also happen like in the last week. So it might happen on the 25th, 26th, or whatever, right? Yes, it will be recorded. It is there on YouTube, so it will remain on YouTube. Okay. So you have approximately 10 to 11 months. That is how you have to look at your prep plan, and say 10 to 11 months. Okay, I'll come to the specific questions. I'll give you time to ask specific questions. So first, let me finish 10 to 15 minutes of my discussion and then the specific question. So if you are preparing for 10 to 11 months, I would recommend close to average time of 15 hours per week. Okay, this is at least for the first 4 months. First 4 months will be 15 hours per week. As you go ahead, you'll have to increase the time a little bit. Yes, there will be some months where the gap will be more. 15 hours per week average hai. Yeah, it would be great if you can make it to 15 to 20 hours. Okay. Because also there's, or just without class time, if you can count 10 to 12 hours. So class time is different, and another 10 hours of preparation on your own. So I have this one very important logic, that for CAT preparation, you really don't need a lot of time together to study. Just say you might not have at one stretch 2 hours or 3 hours to study. Okay, maybe on the weekends you might have, but on the weekdays, if you're a working professional or whatever you're doing, you might not have that kind of time, right? Everybody agrees with me on that part, that we get times in bits and pieces. Now make use of that, and make use of the time in bits and pieces. CAT studies, you can always do everything in bits and pieces. I can break up every area. So let's talk about quant, which looks like the most difficult area to study in bits and pieces. Don't look at one full chapter. Within a chapter, look only at one concept. If I tell you to revise one concept, whether it is a concept of number of factors, or profit percentages, or margin, or compound interest, or EMI, or whatever, any one particular concept, if I look at, then to revise a particular concept, it will take you maybe 10 to 15 minutes, only the concept. Okay. So we have a lot of videos where we talk about a particular concept, break that concept up, look at that video. And now try and revise around 5 to 6 questions from that concept. Now, once you understand that part, okay, I have done a concept, I've done 5 to 6 questions. It cannot take more than 30 minutes. And you can even utilize this 30 minutes well. Okay. Now, think a little bit. How many times in a day do we waste our 30 minutes? Like I tell you about myself, it's not you, about myself also. I had this session today at 5:30. Okay, so in my mind, I have kind of closed everything from 5 o'clock and saying, okay, I have a session at 5:30. So logically, I have wasted half an hour. Okay, I'm sure same for y'all also. Y'all had the session at 5:30. So nobody is studying after 5 o'clock. Why? Can you do something little bit very directly such that it does not disturb your schedule? And hence, people who go to physical classes, college jate ho. How many people are still in college? Can you just say a yes over there in the chat? Sir, I am in college. Okay. So now when you're in college, suppose college is at 9 a.m. in the morning. So many times it happens you reach there at 9 a.m. and you realize that 9 a.m. ka lecture cancel ho gaya hai. Next lecture is at 9:45 or 10 o'clock or whatever that is. Now what happens? Obviously you're in college. Now what happens when you're in college? 9 o'clock lecture cancel हो गया, friends के साथ बैठ गए, कैंटीन चले गए, 2 चाय पी लिया, टाइम पास किया, 1 hour is gone. While if somebody would have been very serious about their prep, they would have gone for a cup of tea, but for 15 minutes, and that rest half an hour, 45 minutes, if they can solve one set of LRDI. Now, if you go through this logic, ये वीक में एटलीस्ट 2 बार होता है. कोई कॉलेज में एक लेक्चर कैंसिल हो गया, या ऑफिस में हो, तुम्हारा कुछ काम प्लान था, you had a call, say you're in sales, you had a call and that call didn't materialize. You've reached that place, you've reached the client's place, and the client is saying, okay, come back after half an hour. Happens so many times, especially for people in sales, right? Come back after half an hour. Go down, catch some cafe, sit down there, open your laptop, solve one LRDI set, solve one VARC, solve one RC. So for everybody, if you're able to use these small gaps in your life, half your preparation will happen there only. I normally tell people your preparation should be this: 2 to 3 LRDI sets every day. Okay. 2 to 3 RCs every day. And 1 hour of QA every day, around 20 to 30 questions. No. So somebody is asking, if I graduate in June 26 and if I have my November 26 attempt, will it be counted as a gap year? Not really. Okay. You can always convince the interviewer that I had started preparing, but now I'm going to answer specific questions. Okay. Now this techno gamer, whatever your name is, I'm trying to answer your question. The best thing for you to do will be post June 26. Try and do an internship. One internship, preferably part-time, so you get time to study. That's okay, Aparajit. Whether you do LOD1, LOD2, LOD3 does not matter now. अभी तुम Jan में LOD1 कर रहे हो because you've just started preparation. As you go ahead, it will automatically become LOD2 and LOD3. So यहाँ पे do not worry about the level of difficulty. Level of difficulty does not matter. Which level of difficulty you're doing is kind of not needed. Okay, so somebody is saying, now I'm going to, as I said, I'm answering questions. I'm looking at the chats and I'm answering questions. So my profile is 888, no work experience, general category, BCom. So Saksham, how long did you pass out? Did you pass out last year? You should, when you're writing questions, please mention your profile completely. Okay. So, Shaksham, I'll come back to your question when you put more details. And now we're taking Shreya's question. Shreya is saying, I am 2024 graduate with 1 year of work ex. I have quit my job this year to prepare for CAT. What should be my preparation strategy? Shreya, tell me, how many hours did you go to work when you were working? Chalo, now comes a very important point for me. Slow down with the questions because I'm at a particular question. Slow down. I'll take all questions, but if you'll slow down. Okay, Shreya, quickly, your question. How many hours were you working when you had a job? I'm sure at least 6 to 7, 8 hours a day. Now, if you quit your job for CAT studies, let's say whatever your salary was, I don't want to know, but suppose your salary was 30,000 rupees. So do you realize you are not, by not working, you are spending around 3.5 lakh rupees, which you would have earned. Now, if you're not going to utilize all that time studying well, then it's a waste leaving a job, no? So rather तो तुम job करके तुम साथ में पढ़ाई करते थे. But if you have left your job for studies, then please be very serious and look at it on a regular basis of 4 to 5 hours every day. So that is Shreya's question. Okay. Now Fatpit, whatever that is, 877 Gem fresher as now, but will be joining a job after college. So when you mean now, which means I'm assuming you will finish your graduation in June 26 or April 26 or whatever. My quant is pretty decent, scored 88 percentile after 1 month prep in CAT 25. So should I focus on before joining my job? And you had only 12 percentile in DI. What about verbal? You've not written verbal. So you have to start studying, period. Your graduation gets over in April, May, June, whatever that is. In fact, I feel from Jan to April, May, June, you might have a lot more time. Once you start working, it will be a fresh job. You might not have so much time. So whatever preparation you have to do now. Also understand the journey from 88 percentile to 99 percentile, even in quant, is a huge journey. You will be shocked to know जितना पढ़ाई तुमने 88 के लिए किया था ना, उससे 10 times ज़्यादा पढ़ाई करना पड़ेगा to jump from 88 to 99. Okay? So don't think that your quant is good. 88 is good. I am not debating that. Okay? But to reach from 88 to 99 is a different story. And you will realize that later. Also, because you have a very poor score in LRDI, let's assume you have not done anything and that is why you got that poor score. You'll have to start where I have told you 2 to 3 sets. Maybe you'll have to work at 3 to 4 sets a day. And same about verbal. Okay. So my suggestion for you would be, in fact, before your job starts, try and finish the syllabus ka one round. Whether through coaching, whether through your own, that's your call depending on what you've done last year. See, today I'm not here to promote our coaching. Today I'm here to talk about your strategy. So whether you do it through coaching, whether you do it through self-learning, that's a call you have. But I would suggest till you start college, finish off the syllabus at least. Till you finish college, finish off the syllabus once. How to start from beginners for fresher? Prachi, for a fresher, if you're completely fresh, never look at CAT earlier before in life. I would suggest you should join a coaching. Okay. Now, depending on which is your strong and weak area. So for example, if you're an engineer, you might not need to do the very, very basic modules of maths. But if you're a BCom or a BMS or a BBA student, you might need to do even those basic of maths well. And hence you might require those 15 days extra in the starting. So that is your plan. Also, in fact, somebody, I don't know whether that person is here today. I think Prashant करके एक लड़के से मैंने कल phone पे बात की थी. So how do you prepare for LRDI basics? Just start. LRDI is like swimming. You can't sit on the outside and watch everybody swimming and learn swimming. You have to jump into the water and you have to start. So same way you have to start solving the sets. Once you start solving the set, only then will you be able to actually go there. Okay. So Namira Khan has a very important point. I can't improve my negative marking, which means you want to reduce your negative marking is what I assume you're trying to say. So very simple. Solve only questions where you are very sure initially. So from Jan to June, July, always built on your accuracy. Whenever you are going behind speed and not accuracy, you will always suffer. It is better to solve, say, 10 questions instead of 15 with bad accuracy. Instead of, it is better to do 10 with good accuracy. 10 and 15 are just numbers, they could be 12 and 8 also. Okay, so somebody solving 12 questions but with a lot of speed and bad accuracy versus somebody solving 8 questions with good accuracy becomes very important. Okay, so somebody said, sir, I had my 9th and 10th in lockdown and no maths after that. So what advice will you give me? Ashish Sabat is asking me this. So Ashish, very simple. If your maths background is very weak, what we call a non-engineers QA module, which we have at iQuanta. Okay, and similar other coaching will also have something or the other. What you need to do is you need to work on that module really well. That will teach you all those important concepts. Like school में जो तुमने ध्यान नहीं दिया रहेगा because of, as I said, online coaching था या online exams थे, so maybe you're not paying attention. So what is an isosceles triangle? See, most of the people know isosceles triangle क्योंकि isosceles triangle में दो sides equal होती है, equilateral triangle में तीन sides equal होती है, but उसके अंदर की properties कितने जन को समझ में आती है? What properties will you need? ओके, परसेंटेज लोगों को समझ में आता है बट उसको सिंपल इंटरेस्ट कंपाउंड में अप्लाई कैसे करना है वो नहीं आता है. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स बिकम वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड ऑल दैट यू विल लर्न थ्रू द बेसिक्स ऑफ आवर नॉन इंजीनियर्स, what we call as non-engineers QA module. Ashish, that's for you. So Shreyas, sir, I got 87 percentile, 65 in VARC, 92 in LRD and 19 in Quant. How can I improve for CAT 26? So Shreyas, now there's a different strategy for you. Like verbal, you're really poor, which means I think for verbal, you should start from the front. You should start like a student who has never prepared before. You should forget what you have prepared before in verbal and you should start from the front. You should start preparing regularly with the class. But the 92 and 90 which you have in LRD and Quant kind of tells me that you're good at these areas. Yes, you still need to do, as I told earlier also to somebody, that the journey from a 92 to 100 or 90 to 99 is huge. Okay, so what you need to do here, you need to have the reverse approach of studies. So this is for all second timers. How do you prepare? The reverse order of studies is very important. How do you say that is important? How do you do that? Basically, you start solving questions first, see how your accuracy for a particular topic is, and depending on how bad or good you're doing, you need to go back and revise the concept. So for example, तुमने mixtures and allegation का topic start किया और तुमको realize किया यार I solved 20 questions but I got only 5 right. You were thinking that you were strong at that topic, but when you solved 20 questions, you got only 5 right. So suddenly what happened? Which means you were not maybe good at that topic. So you need to go back, revise some concepts and then come in the front again. So that's called the reverse approach, which is meant only, this approach is meant only for people who are writing CAT second or the third time. Okay, Shreyas? So could you please recommend something for a working professional? Okay, now working professional ka Mansi. Now, Mansi, this is from a very old student of mine. Today, he would be like, what, I think maybe 38, 40. He runs one very, very good startup. You all would know about it. I would not want to name it, but you all would have heard the startup. It's in the medical industry. Okay, so he was my student, and during the speech when he was actually getting selected, I am Ahmedabad. We'd gone for his gathering or party, whatever you want to call it, and he said, so Mansi, I'm going to give you the same discussion what he had said that time. Still works. So he had told me this very important thing, that he started removing extra half an hour in his life everywhere. So what he did was, whatever time you're getting up in the morning, Mansi, start getting up half an hour early. Now, a lot of people argue, but if I get up half an hour early, no, in the morning I'm not fresh, I'm not able to solve anything. Perfect, I agree with you. Then what should you do? What I would suggest then you should do, is तुम्हारा सुबह का जो भी routine है, वो सब कर लो. You want to have breakfast, you want to go for a shower, you want to sit down, meditate, whatever that routine is, do it. Wear your clothes, wear your shoes, get ready. But you're half an hour early, no? Normally you would have left, say, at 9 o'clock for office. Now you're half an hour early because you're up half an hour early. So you're at 8:30. Wear your shoes completely ready go to your study table, study for half an hour and then leave. So now you're fresh also because सब कुछ हो गया है. मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ बेड से उठ के सीधा पढ़ाई करो, बट जितने बजे भी उठ रहे हो, you might be a brilliant person in life and would be getting up at 6:30 in the morning. Try to get up at 6, half an hour early. Now, try and avoid travel time. Mansi, this is only for working professionals. Understand this, very important. Mansi, Shubham, okay, all these people, same advice for working. How many people waste a lot of time in traffic? Do ghanta, if you're working in a city like Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Gurgaon, I don't know where traffic is bad again. It's there most of India. But if you're in one of these cities where you're wasting a lot of time in traffic. So for example, right now where I'm working from in Mumbai is like hardly 3 kilometers from my house. Hardly 3 kilometers, okay? Logically, 3 kilometers should be covered in 10 minutes maximum. But if I leave right now, I will take around 30 minutes. But I leave at 8:39, I will take around 10 minutes. So what is more logical? Even if I finish my work, there are two things. Either I will check whether is it possible for me to sit in my company and sit and study for 2 hours and then go home so that I avoid traffic also. And second is if that is not possible, I understand working in when you work, the place where you're working, if you sit and study, they might not be very comfortable with it. Search for a library close to it, walking distance pay, or a good cafe, half an hour where you can study for 2 hours with a cup of coffee, sit with a cup of coffee and study for 2 hours. Nowadays, you'll have very good noise cancelling earphones. You can just put them on and study there for 2 hours and then go home. You know, these things sound a little bit, oh, is it possible? But once you start doing it, no, they work. Shreyas, not Shreyas, Mansi Verma and Shubham, these were both for you. So start removing, Mansi, these gaps in office, like a 1 hour lunch break. You don't need a 1 hour lunch break. Lunch is maximum 15-20 minutes. 15 minutes lunch, 15 minutes relaxation, half an hour में और एक पढ़ाई कुछ. I know I am talking about the perfect conditions, but when you want to crack. So again, somebody I spoke to recently, I'm sure you all were aware that toppers meet tha iQuanta kabhi thode din pehle, where I met all the toppers and most of them knew me because from YouTube or test series or whatever, they knew me beforehand. Now, so when I was speaking to them, lot of people mentioned that they cut out a lot of things from their life. Start thinking what are the 3 or the 4 more important things presently in your life. If you're working or you're in college, that's the first thing. Your job or your college education is the first most important thing. Second is your CAT studies. One more thing you can afford in life. For people who are health conscious, it could be gym or running or something like that. People who are artistically inclined, it could be dance, music or something like that. One more hobby where you can spend some time on a weekly basis. These 3 things, start cutting out everything else from your life. You all won't believe it. You know, there's one message which I receive very frequently. I think I must have received this message 5 to 6 times in the last couple of years. And a lot of people say the same thing. And I'm surprised the same thing is said by some 5-6 people. Sir, in the last 4 to 6 months, I must have seen more of you than my friends. What does that tell you? That it's not that they are preferring me for their studies. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to boast about me. But what I'm trying to say, the second part was important. They have started cutting down on the meets with their friends. They are not wasting time too much. Yes, you can do it, but you have to reduce it. And obviously, without saying it goes, you need to track how much time are you spending on social media. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, everything. Yes, I understand today your education also is on that. I am also speaking to you on YouTube. I understand that. But the I would say the time which you're not utilizing well, how much time are you spending there? Just scrolling away reels. That will be very important. Okay. So Sharan is saying he's got a 10-10-8 OBC profile, male, 1.5 years work ex. What should he do? Start preparing. 80 percentile you already have with your category. Next year, if you reach 94, 95, you will get it. I've already discussed how a second timer should prepare depending on what percentile they had in the first time. So every section can have a different preparation. You did well at verbal, you didn't do it well at quant. If you did bad at quant आगे से करो. अगर quant अच्छा किया है तो quant पीछे से करो. मैंने आगे पीछे से explanation दोनों दे दिया कैसे करने का है. Okay, talking to Aditya now. I'm a working professional. What strategy should I follow? This is my first attempt, and for first attempt, I'm preparing also. Aditya, I already just gave the strategy. You will need to join a coaching. First attempt, you will need to join a coaching. Somebody who gives you good material, somebody who gives you good video lectures, very important, because the time which you will want to utilize, you want to, so even travel time, can you use it to see the videos? As I said, use the videos well, use all the technology well, which you have nowadays. Okay. Okay. So, Shivam, I've already given you your advice. Does CFA level 1 and L2 cleared good enough for gap? Yeah, it's a good thing, Akshat. But they see the interviewer also knows that it's a correspondence course. So what is the solution you have to explain to an interviewer? See, it's not that you can't do with that. You will need to talk well. That's a different part. I'll discuss that. But my point is that if you can get some internships, it is better to do. Anybody who does not have WorkX and has been sitting home for the last 6 months, 8 months, I would suggest bare minimum is start some internships. In fact, you know what is the ideal thing? The ideal thing is this, listen to me. Try and get a part-time job. Don't worry about the salary, let the salary be low. But try and check whether can they give you a full-time certificate. It's a slightly okayish thing, but try and do that. GEM candidates will need all the percentiles they need, 99 point something. 999 percentile required, 2027 graduating. So we're graduating in 2027, which means you can write CAT 2026. Okay, perfect time to start studying. Okay, that's Jeeval Minocha. Okay, so Jeeval, perfect time. But if you're a GEM fresher, you will need 99 point something. Let's be very frank, from the top IIMs. So Henaro Scepter, whatever that is. What is your story for no WorkX for 3 years? 3-year gap, no engineer, female, OBC, no WorkX. You mean no engineer means are you an engineer, not an engineer? You haven't written your graduation. What is the story? What did you do for 3 years? You can't just say, no, that I was at home for 3 years. There has to be some story you'll have to build around it. So think of that story first. Give me that story, then I'll discuss it. Shivam, I already spoke to you. So Pratiksha, I'm looking at. Hi, my profile details are 1080 1254. I'm third year CSC student, plus I have so many extra currics. Like I have a gold medal in football, intercollege Shamantri at ABVP for Loni Pune. Good, all the extra currics are good. But what is that word I just said? Extra currics, extracurricular activities. Remember the first word in that, it is extra. Extra will matter only after you have the percentile. Remember, yes, maybe a gold medal at a national level or something would be a very different thing. Otherwise, very frankly, you will still need the percentile based on your academics. Okay? So, Banerjee is saying my college and internship ends in June. Why don't you continue internship even beyond June? Try and search for one more internship. Internships to mil jane chahiye, Banerjee. You are just giving me a profile. Profiles, okay, let me just talk about general profiles. Okay. All the IIMs have a different category. At what percentile do they accept students from different categories? What scores? You can just go to their website or you can visit iQuanta website. We tell you exactly how many points add up where. And these points pay based on 10th में 90 है कि नहीं, 12th में 90 है कि नहीं, graduation में 80 है कि नहीं, these points add up. And with that, you have need a percentile. If you're a general engineer male, you will require 99 plus something. General engineer female will also require 99 point something, but 98 or 99 point something. As it comes to BCom, BMS, art students, the requirement keeps falling. Okay. Okay. So SWORD 4566, whoever that percent is. You are saying that you passed out in 2025 and are looking at CAT 2026. First question in the interview, what were you doing for 1.5 years? If you have a story, great. But if you don't have a story, I would suggest start doing 2, 3 things. One internship, one NGO profile, something, and some extracurriculars besides your CAT studies. The best will be internship or a paid job, even if part-time. Sharan. So Sharan has said CAT 25 you had at 80 percentile. How do you prepare for CAT 26? Sharan, if you give me your specific scores of each area, I can tell you, and I've already spoken about how to go from front to back, back to front, important ways of studies for people who are preparing second time. So that 80 percentile doesn't help me. Give me your breakup. Okay. So Aishwarya is saying, sir, how would you suggest how to use the iQuanta Pro course? Now, when you look at the iQuanta Pro course, first we have the LRDI essentials, LRDI inception, verbal inception, and non-engineers QA. That is your base. That actually starts you into a course. Okay. Then what we've been having these live lectures now till more or less the third week of January, we will have these live lectures where we are revising topics with you and all that. So that is one part to it. Keep doing that. Once you start your lectures, you will have a lecture every day and then you'll have one more class in the night every day. Go through that. Also start solving questions. One important mistake which students make with too much videos nowadays, I also am to blame for it because I create the most amount of videos. When I create videos, people start only seeing videos. Remember, whenever you are studying, you can't just watch a video. Okay, it's not a theory subject. That's somebody just speaking for you and you will remember something and it will just go and put it on the sheet of paper. That doesn't work. What you need to do is you need to solve. Now, how do you, and you can solve with video also, especially recorded video. Whenever you have a recorded video, learn to pause, start the video. So when you see the question on the screen, pause the video. Try it. Give it 30 seconds, 1 minute. If nothing works, start the video, watch a couple of steps, stop again, use that couple of steps and see whether you can finish it, and then watch the video. And that is how you do. So, and besides that, till May, June, Aishwarya, your preparation will go ahead chapter by chapter, module by module for each session, and keep it together. Whatever practice exercise and whatever we have given you, please use that regularly, Aishwarya. Okay, don't wait. If a chapter of numbers is done today, say number system ka first chapter is done, or surds and dices is done, whenever that is done, HCF, LCM is done, revise the practice exercise that time only. Okay, so Shivam, I've already spoken about you a lot. I cannot discuss that. So my cons is pretty decent. I already spoke to this person. I don't know why the chats have come back again. Okay. Sir, I'm in third year and how would graduate this year? I'm speaking to Ayush Kahate. This year around May, how to start initial prep and mainly for cons. So Ayush, I'm assuming you're either BCom, BMS or something like that. Okay, because you said third year and you're saying your graduation ends this year, so 3-year graduation. So now Ayush, what you should do is, again, because you're a first time preparation, you should start by joining a coaching. If you're at iQuanta, you need to go through the non-engineers QA first so that basics of quant get covered and start doing quant on a regular basis. Okay, this 2-3 hours of studies, and especially if you're not going to take up a job after May, then you need to after May initially start preparing, but after May start giving 4 to 5 hours a day. That's going to be very important. Suryano Chattopadhyay. Hi sir, my profile is 879 GEM 13 works WorkX, graduated in 2024. Perfect profile. You're going to write the CAT in 2026. By 2027, you'll have around 2.5, 3 years of work-ex. Good. Keep preparing hard. Keep preparing really hard. Okay. One more thing which I notice in today's youngsters. Okay. They have this FOMO thing. Everybody feels the fear of missing out. Oh, if I am out for 1 year, nothing will change in 1 year in life. When you go and kind of what we call as disappear for 1 year, not disappear, but cut out of all the chit chat around you. Yes, you can keep a few occasions in that year. But if you really prepare well for this 1.5 year, no, 1 year, 11 months, if you prepare this well, no, I think you will do well. Chattopadhyay, that should be your aim. You have good work ex. You will need that 99 point something. What your scores are also pretty decent. So I think that 12, except the 12th standard score, everything else looks nice. Neeraj, what's the question? You just gave me a profile, no question. People with 2.5 years of work ex, start studying now. Please use all your holidays well in your job. Each and every single holiday which you have with your job, whether it comes as paid leaves, unpaid leaves, जो भी आता है, उसको अच्छे से use करो. Please use them completely and study well. Vibhor, sir, I've been working in my family business for past 2 years and now working on my startup. 2023 graduate, 2 year CAT attempts done, but both times was not happy with my prep. So CAT again. Not bad, Vibhor. Not happy with prep or not happy with score. That's very important. Did you not prepare well or you prepared well and did not get a score? If you prepared well and did not get a score, you can work from back to front the way I explained. But if you have not prepared well, think as if you are preparing for the first time and start the preparation from front and give it a whole full-fledged attempt before. And now this time don't make any excuses. 2 years family business था, अब startup है, startup में तो और भी काम होगा. But if you're going to give that effort there, then CAT will somewhere or the other have a problem. Shubham, what's your question? You putting your profile again, Shubham, but I don't have your question because I already spoke to you a couple of times. Sir, I'm dropping out and joining Bank of America. As of now, my profile is 888 and this year I just scored 70 percentile. Bad VARC section, what should be my strategy? Very frankly, overall 70 percentile, unless you've got a 19 in one of the areas. Himan. Okay. My point is you'll have to look at it like a first attempt and study right from the start. I'm hoping Bank of America, which means you'll at least have all your holidays and all regular. If you're working in Bombay Bank of America, I don't know which city you not mentioned, but I'm assuming you have a good profile. You haven't written a profile. Are you an engineer? Are you a non-engineer? Bad VARC section. So start working harder. Start speaking and communicating at Bank of America with everybody well in spoken English. As your spoken English improves, your verbal also improves, is my logic. But treat yourself as a first timer and prepare well. Saksham. Sir, BCom का third semester ही हुआ है and on the basis of I told you 888. So third semester हुआ है. Okay, which means you'll be graduating in 2027, right? Good time to prepare. Very, very good time to prepare. You should prepare for this very, very seriously and give it a very serious attempt. Because what will happen ना, तुम्हारे पास जितना अभी time है college के साथ, a BCom third semester student has the most time on his hands. उससे ज़्यादा time life में कभी नहीं मिलने वाला है prepare करने के लिए. Once you will be in the final year, you will always have a logic of, sir, final year hai, I need to study harder. Then when you will enter work, you will always have more work. So right now, the amount of time which you have, you should give that completely to studies and give it a very strong attempt. Okay. So should we aim to complete all LOD1 and LOD2 question with PYQs and mocks? And do you recommend Arun Sharma books? I don't recommend Arun Sharma book. Okay, you don't need it. Unless you're not joining a coaching, you need a structure, then you can use a book. Otherwise, I don't recommend Arun Sharma book. Second, what should you do with LOD1 and LOD2? Yes, you can do LOD1, but why PYQs and mocks? So are you going to be doing self-study, Aparajita? The way you speak, it looks as if you're a self-study student. Then you might just need the book for a structure. Yes, LOD1, LOD2 is good, but you need to see a variation of questions. Some books can give you only one type of questions. That is why take some course from some coaching, and that will help you with a structure better, is my suggestion. PYQs will be important, but PYQs, most important is mocks. जितना कैट में मॉक्स इंपॉर्टेंट है उससे ज्यादा और कुछ भी इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. राइटिंग गुड क्वालिटी 20 to 25 टेस्ट इज लाइक the most important thing. Akshat, I already answered your question. The chats just keep going ahead. I'm just going to go ahead a little bit. I'm going backwards and answering some chats now. Third year, Anjali saying third year BBA student extremely weak in QA, not able to solve questions by watching the basics also. How to make QA strong? Anjali, sit down, put your time to it. You'll have to give a lot of time to it. You're a third year BBA student. Where are you preparing from? Which college? What's your university? Okay, how much time do you have? If you are really that weak, what you're calling yourself in quant, you need 2 to 3 hours of QA every day. If you're really that weak, okay? So that's Anjali for you. While Mohit, I'm asking, while preparing for quant, should I complete one chapter first, then jump to second chapter, or should I change chapter after solving 20 to 50 questions from it? Okay. Advice, how do you prepare for one particular chapter? You first do the concepts of that chapter, whether it's with your live class or whatever. Do the chapter in class with 20-25 questions. Then comes the next class. I'm talking about the iQuanta model. Then there's one more live class where you do another 15-20 question of the higher level. Then you have the practice exercise, or you have the books. And once you finish around 70, 80, 100 questions on that chapter, try and write a test on that chapter. See how you are, where have you reached, are you doing well, and then move ahead. Yes, you don't need to get stuck after 70, 80 questions also if that chapter is not thorough yet. So also every chapter will have a different number of questions. Like a chapter like profit and loss, doing 50, 60 questions is good enough. But time, speed, distance, you might need to do more than 100 questions because the variety of questions is a lot more. Okay, so that you can't have the number fixed. Okay, Vishwajit. Sir, I'm a chartered accountant with 88733 months work ex as credit analyst in ICICI, now in Edison Bank. 90% are in CAT this year, 92.85 in ZAT. So Vishwajit, is the question, should I take one more attempt? Because see, very frankly, if you're a chartered accountant with 33 years work ex, you're already doing well in life. Okay, I'm assuming you have a decent job, decent salary, which means you can't compromise on your college. For you, the colleges are going to be not below the top 15, 20. 8, 10 IIMs, not even all the IIMs will make sense. 8, 10 IIMs, XLRIs, FMSs, and so on. Bajaj and these colleges will make sense. Beyond that, colleges also not make sense. Prepare well, give it one more attempt. Also, start thinking, what do you want to do in life? Which role do you want to play in the corporate world in finance? Will CFA take you there? That's also a very important question for you, Vishwajit. Okay. Okay. The questions just people, if you all spam the chat, no, there is no point. Okay, Amrit, you're spamming the chat. Sorry. Okay, for 5 minutes, stop putting questions. Last question, Parth Chadda. Uske baad, please stop putting questions for 5 minutes. If you all stop putting questions, I can actually have a look at the questions and try and answer them. Guys, if you all don't listen, there's no point. I will not be able to answer anybody's questions. Stop putting questions. Okay, I'm going from down. Last question which I'm seeing is Kinjali's. Kinjal, Jain. No, again, people will not listen. Okay, I'm going backwards from Kinjal's question. Steve, stop posting questions. No, internship does not count as job experience, but internship का value बहुत ज़्यादा है during interview round. It will not count as work ex. only aiming at IMA, great Kinjal. Full-time experience for 3 months today. Good extra currics and no gap. First timer, join iQuanta. How do you prepare some good books? Once you've joined a coaching, you should ideally not require books. Okay, simple. I don't think so. You'll require books. At iQuanta, we are already giving you a lot of material, Kinjal. So please use that well. Let's see that your dream is achieved, that I am a dream is achieved. Okay. So Kinjal, start studying on a regular basis the way we are advising you in class and everything. Don't and give that extra effort wherever needed. Okay. People, I am not seeing messages if you spam. Okay. I am now, as I said, I'm going up from Kinjal's question and then I'll come back till where I feel. Yugan, sir, I'm a fresher, BBA second year, OBC, non-engineer male. What should be my CGPA and percentile for IIM, ABC or Blackie? So now, whatever has happened in college, 10, 12 तो खत्म हो गया तो उसको तो तुम change नहीं कर सकते हो. You already put 7 and 8. Try and keep your score, your CGPA as high as possible. Keep it very good. Try and see whether the conversion happens to close to 80%. That will be great. And because you're an OBC, you'll have to look at least 97, 98 percentile in CAT and hope to get a calls. Okay. Par Chadda, GEM 989, sir. I will graduate in May 26. Is it okay if I dedicate all months till November to CAT and then do an internship before MBA admission? It's not a bad thought, but the point is if you can do some amount of internship right now also now, see you're a pretty good student. 989 tells me you've been good in school and college. So now use that to your advantage. You sound also like a hardworking student Parth. So use that to advantage. Even if you're doing an internship for 4-5 hours a day, you have still enough time in the day to study. Rather than spending time on other things, I would prefer that you spend that time on internship. That's my suggestion, Parth. Sir, I'm a third year last semester. I'm in the third year last semester and I'm planning to do NGO internship and 2-3 certification by November. Should I proceed with it? CAT 26 preparation. Perfect plan. This is Stuti Rana. That's a perfect plan. Please read Stuti Rana's message. She's got a perfect plan. One NGO, some other internship, 2-3 small certification, maybe Coursera, somewhere else. If you're a finance person, the National Stock Exchange offers some courses. All these certifications will help and preparing simultaneously for CAT 26. That's a perfect, great plan, Stuti. Utkarsh, 92, 80, 60. Okay. Non-engineer male got 65 percentile in CAT and 65 percentile in CAT, you should assume that you're a fresher and start preparing like the first timer. Okay. Okay. Thinking of going for MA Economics or MSc Chemistry. Very weird, different choices. MA Economics is completely different versus MSc Chemistry is different. Depending on what you want to do after MBA, I would prefer a MA Economics. Okay. Okay. Value for me for MA Economics is not so much. If you would rather have some internships and some courses, that will be better with your CAT prep because what you're doing in MA Economics might not really means that might not help your CAT getting into a IIM or whatever. Utkarsh. Syed sir working in construction 18 months, 10 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Oh, wow. So plan to quit. Have an offer in an unrelated sector, both to EE and current job with better hours, 8 hours, 6 days a week. Will switching impact my future interview? Uh, Sayed, it depends on how far is that current role away from your present profile. If you can convince people that yes, maybe construction was not what I wanted to do in life, I was there. And you can always say, yes, the hours were killing. I could not manage my CAT studies with it. I wanted to study for CAT. It will not matter so much. You have a good amount of time. Sayed, not a bad thought. Shanu, 96 se zyada, I would prefer a 98-ish. Shanu, that's for you. Angel का ऑलरेडी मैंने प्रोफाइल पढ़ लिया था तो अब मैं नीचे जा रहा हूँ वापस. I had last read 1 minute. I told people not to put questions, but still so many questions have come. Okay, Mahesh say I'm starting reading and I'm going downwards. I have 25 months of work ex. Latest we need to close at 6:45 or 7. No worries, I'll try and answer most of the questions. I have 25 months of work ex. Presently resigned from CAT for CAT prep and I'm non-engineer with 80% intermediate, 65% SSC and 80. How's my profile? And please help me if I can improve my profile. Is there anything to do? So Mahesh, 25 months of work ex you already have, right? If you're going to resign from your job, please see that you're studying for 7 to 8 hours a day. See, you're working for 7 to 8 hours a day where they were giving you money. You're leaving that money and you have the time. If you're going to use that time and study, if you're going to leave a job and going to study only 3 hours a day, then it's a waste. Anybody who's going to leave a job or not take up a job in life, you all need to change the stand and you all need to work in such a way that you need to think properly and say, is this the right decision I took? And if that's the decision I took, I need to study for 6, 7 hours a day. So Mahesh, that's for you. How is ISB? It's a good college, depending on what program you're looking at. It's a very good college. See whether it suits all your things. Return on investment can always be slightly risky at such colleges. Amrit, you can post your question now. Again, from start, I haven't seen your question. So please put your question now if you want. I'm in third year student, Prachi. What should I do now? Prachi, your question is not clear. Which CAT are you preparing for CAT 26? Have you already joined coaching, not joined coaching? When do you think you want to join coaching? All these things are important. You're in the third year. There are two things you could do. Best thing you should do is start coaching now. Take a small break in April, May, whenever your final year exams happen. Take a small break. And from there onwards, kill it in terms of preparing for CAT. And do a small internship. Mandeep, I am a BA student, college and ends in June. How will I prepare? My con section is weak. So Mandeep, start preparing. Don't wait till June. If you're a BA student, I assume you have a lot more time than others after college. I don't know about which university, which city you are from, but Mandeep, I assume BA का college, जितना मुझे बॉम्बे से मालूम है 4-5 घंटे से ज़्यादा नहीं होता है. So even if I start my college at 8 in the morning, everything will get over by 2. Even if I take a small break and start studying from 4:35, I have nearly good 5 hours to put for studies, and that is what you need to do. Wow, 4.6 years work ex. Think a little bit. I don't think so. 4.6 years work ex, full-time MBA makes sense to you. Think over your decision to do a full-time MBA. Kunal, the thought is not bad. Aeon, newspaper, 2RC. I would suggest that if you are a student, speak to Shabana ma'am, have a one-to-one with her, speak to her, understand what's the right strategy, start solving more and more RCs. Okay, you need to solve 2-3 RCs a day, and with every RC, start making a list of words which improve your vocabulary. Also, don't study vocabulary specially, but make a list of words from the RCs and start learning that better so that your improvement happens on a regular basis. Have a strategy. If you're not very good with RC, are you good with the VA part? Can you get those 8 questions of VA correct? If not all 8, but 6 from 8, then that much lesser you will need at RCs. But the thought is not bad. Richa Singh, profile is 84.5 in 10, 75 in 12, now doing BBA third year, 6th semester. Till now, CGPA is 8.4, which is good. Done 2 internships, preparing for CAT 26. Good. Your profile looks like a dream profile, except that 12th standard score, everything else looks nice. Okay. You have to have a good answer why 12th is only 75. Every time else it's good. Okay. You should target close to 99. Your target has to be close to 99. Even if you get a little bit lesser, you will still get good calls, but your target has to be 99 point something. 4.6 years work ex, I already told you what the answer is. BSc Biotechnology, and my academics are as follows. Okay, how much should I score in CAT? See, how much should I score in CAT is very difficult answer. Okay, I will always say more than 99. Unless you belong to a particular category, where the cutoffs are much lower, like OBC or whatever other categories are there. Unless besides that, you always need to look at 99 at least. So Khushi, good. Khushi saying she got VA and QMA दोनों में 80 percentile and 34 in LRDI. What should be the strategy? 80 in VA and Q is also not great. Okay, you need to have strategies there also. Lot of people make this mistake. They think के last year 80 आया था तो इस साल तो आ ही जाएगा. There is no such rule. Just because you got 80 last year, and if you don't give attention to that section, you might get lesser than 80 also this year. So think that way. Khushi, you should prepare like a first timer in most of the sections. Yes, maybe QA is some area where you can go to difficult level questions immediately. So Kanak is saying 6th semester, 2 hours of travel and teach tuitions for 2 hours. What are you teaching? Are you teaching maths? If you're teaching maths, that teaching maths, depending on what standard you're teaching, can really help you. Let me know what you're teaching, Kanak, in the chat somewhere. Okay. So you need to work. If you're saying that Feb, March, may things will end and you'll have much more time after Feb, March, then it is okay to join a batch in Feb, March. Kanak, nothing wrong. Okay. Or you've already joined the iQuanta batch. So it's okay. You can start preparing with the basic stuff now and give it a full-fledged effort after March. But then after March, there should be no excuses. After March, you should be able to give 5-6 hours on a daily basis. Right now, I would say, I understand you have 2 hours travel, you have college, and you are teaching for 2 hours. But right now, I can excuse you a little bit. But post March, that effort has to, April onwards, that effort has to go 3x times. How to determine the profile? Like what does 999 or 888 mean? That is your 10th standard score, 12th standard score, and graduation score. Amrit. BSc Biotechnology, I already answered. Sir, I am from Kirorimal College and I have 90% in both 10th and 12th, 8 CGPA in first year, and now in my 4th semester and no internship. Is it possible to crack an IIM? Yes, it is very much possible. Your scores are good. Get some internship experience. Krishna Agarwal. Get that internship experience. That's very important. Don't take it lightly. Put some effort there and it will really help. And then start preparing well. 3.667 OBC male, 3.1 IT experience, age 25. CAT 25, 81 percentile, unstructured PEP, 2-month gap. Should I take CAT 26 with a 1-year gap and proper preparation? Ayush, it's a very risky situation to be in. What happened last time? Did you not have enough time for preparation? Or Ayush, what happened in your case was, were you just lazy? If you think that you can manage with a job, you can manage studies, then take up a job. Otherwise, just take the risk, take the plunge. But then, as I said, study for 5-6 hours every day, bare minimum. Do some extra corrects, like an NGO or some hobby or something, Ayush, on the side. Only CAT preparation for 10-11 months will not work. You will need something extra there, Ayush. ISRO internship, Kunal, looks good. I already said how to work on VRC, Kunal. I've already spoken to you. Asta Verma, 55% in VRC, 17 data. So I think, Asta, based on your scores, I'm telling you a very simple thing. Think like a first timer. Prepare completely fresh. No, your previous preparation has got you nowhere. Think completely fresh and prepare like a complete fresh student, Asta. Don't think that you're a second timer. Kunal, I've already spoken to you. What certification should we do? Depending on what's your profile. If you're a finance guy, there are a lot of finance courses available. Start learning. Again, if you're a marketing guy, there's a lot of digital marketing courses on Coursera or something like that. See some certificates which have value, add value to your profile. Do it with your profile. Or like you're an engineer, but your interest is toward finance, then do some finance courses. Learn something about the stock market. Know your terms and terminologies. All this very help a lot. Okay, Aditya? Swajal Rahate, 998 profile with 14 months of work. What can I do for profile building? Keep working hard. Maybe on the side have one good hobby schedule. I don't think so anything else is needed. Your profile is good. You have good perfect work ex. Don't just have one extra hobby to talk in the interview. If you don't have something, if you have something great, cultivate the same one. Otherwise, just add one more. Parajita Roy, your internships should always be as close as to the profile you dream of post your graduation or your MBA. So after MBA, if you're looking at a finance role, try and do a finance internship. If you're looking at a marketing role, try and do a marketing internship. And that is why I say, at this is the right time to use your family contacts. If you can use your family contacts, get an internship in some friend's office or dad's friend's office and all, where a little bit leniency is given to you, that will always work, because otherwise what happens, no, that it will always be very difficult for you to manage that. So what you said is, I agree with that. Sometimes people struggle that they don't get time for CAT studies. Last 10 minutes. How do I apply for internships is not my job. You'll have to work hard towards that. So coder, SBU, if your quant is so weak, start working hard on it. 2-3 hours every day quant, and do everything from the basics. There is nothing in quant which cannot be done. Go through the basics, start doing it on a regular basis. Non-engineer OBC female, graduated BA English honors in 2023. 3 years gap, CAT repeater. My answer is, what were you doing for 3 years? That's the most important thing. Okay? Non-engineer OBC female is great, but what were you doing for 3 years is the answer you'll have to give yourself. You should take up a job, Shreya Singh. Anytime SARS. I'm okay with the not, if you are okay with not getting the salary, work as an intern only, that's okay, completely okay. Don't worry about salary too much. So Punya Chadda is saying that I will be graduating this year. You can do after November, nothing wrong with it. But if you can do something from that April, May onwards, once your exams end, a small internship also, at least do it. I would suggest Punya. Prerna Chaurasya, I cannot find your question. I'm going to try and find your question. Okay, you're saying answer my question, but I don't have your question. Sorry. Aditya, I've spoken enough to you. I'm reading Journey of Polo ka question. I've already spoken to you. Okay, so most of the questions now are pretty repetitive. Okay, everybody please stop. Stop. I think we're going to just go back to some general talks. Please stop chatting. I'm going to talk about some general things. So from what I read in most of the places, there are 4 or 5 major questions which are coming up. First question, let's look for freshers. Okay, somebody who's in the pre-final year. When I mean the pre-final year, that means your graduation is, I'm going to take freshers in 2 parts or 3 parts maybe. Somebody who's the pre-final year, which means graduation will happen in CAT 27. Unke liye the best thing is prepare well, try and do one internship at least with college. Second, for people who will finish in June, that is in 2026, they will graduate. Unka question बड़ा important है. April, May, June, whenever the exams will end, what should they show till November? Should they say they were not doing anything, they were only studying? I would again suggest, if you can get an internship in that period, great, because you don't have college. So wo internship plus prep will always help. Third, people who have graduated and have not started working. 25 में graduate हो गए थे, didn't start working because they took CAT last year or for whatever reason they didn't start working. My suggestion would be start working immediately, because by the time you actually finish your CAT and everything, it will be a very long gap. When you go for your interviews, nearly 2 year gap, and it will be very difficult to explain. So start working and study with that. Third category is the next category is the people who are already working. What is the right time till they should work and when can they leave their jobs. So a very good suggestion to you is you can actually leave your job the day you fill your CAT form. Why do I say that? Because in your CAT form, or 1 week after, or 15 days after, or whatever. So in your CAT form, you can say you were working. You were not lying, no? Or post your CAT form, put up your papers, and then 1 month notice period, and then. So somewhere around August, you can stop working. Till that, study with office, and post August or something, study full-fledged. Okay? People with higher workings, depending on what profiles you do you want to change your job, do you not want to change your job, whether internships or job, however close they are to your profile which you want after MBA, you should try and keep them as close. So that's very, very important. Okay, as far as the planning for studies goes, if you're a first timer, you always should take up coaching. My suggestion is, yes, there is a lot of free stuff on YouTube, I don't disagree with that, but it is not structured. What coaching does, it gives you a structure, what to study, after that what to study, what is the next thing to study, how do you improve when you get stuck. When you get stuck, YouTube does not help you to improve how to go ahead. That's a slight issue with a lot of free content on YouTube. Yes, you can use the free content, nobody's saying no, but you have to use it smartly. So I think we've taken most of the queries which people have asked. Uh, Depending on, I'm looking at the number of queries and which people kept asking. I think it was a very good session, and maybe we can do one more session after a couple of days. And maybe this time what we'll do is we'll ask for questions beforehand. People can send questions on a Google form or something beforehand, and then we'll try and do one more session post this. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. Bye bye. See you.